All right, guys, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing problems, word problems, and I know you guys love these word problems. However, guys, they are going to be super simple, so please do not worry about it, okay? So one thing I always say is draw pictures if you need some help with it, okay? So first of all, it says a baseball team played 32 games and lost 8. So they played a total of 32, they lost 8. Katie was the catcher in 5/8 of the winning game and 1/4 of the losing game. I want to know what fraction of the games did the team win? So if you think about it, what fraction did they win? If they played a total of 32 games and they lost 8, first of all, I need to figure out how many did they win. Well, if I do 32 minus 8, okay, so they had to have won 24 games. So when they won 24 games is what they won out of how many games altogether would be 32. Okay, and of course I don't want to leave this. I want to make sure that I simplify it. So I want to think, what could I divide 24 by that I could also divide 32 by? And that's going to be 8. So then 24 divided by 8 is going to be 3. 32 divided by 8 is going to be 4th. So what fraction of the game did they win? They won 3/4 of the games. So I'm going to put they won 3/4 of the games. Okay, so then on this, it says that how many games did Katie play catcher? So I need to kind of remember we have 32 games. Okay, so she was catcher in 5/8 of the winning games, and she was catcher 1/4 in the losing games. Okay, so first of all, I need to find out 5/8 of this 24. So if I have 24, okay, so just remember this is going to be 24. She was 5/8, so I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So she was catcher in 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 games. So this is when she was catcher. Okay, and over here on my losing games, we had 8 games that she lost. She was catcher only on 1/4. Okay, so right now what I need to do is I need to figure out, well, how many was she catcher, how many was she the catcher in the winning and the losing? So if I were to look at this, if I were to take 24 and split it between 8 different sections, I would have to have 3 in here. Because remember, guys, 8 times 3 is going to be 24. Okay, now if I have 8 and I've got 4 different places to separate it into, that would be 2. Okay, so if I were to count this up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 3 times. 5 times 3 would be 15 games. And then she was catcher only for 2 of those games, plus 2. She would have been catcher for 17 games. She was the catcher. Okay, all you have to do is you can work on drawing those pictures to help you find those answers. Number 2, it says in Mrs. Elliott's garden, 1/8 of the flowers were red, 1/4 of them were purple, and 1/5 of the remaining flowers were pink. If there are 228 flowers, how many are pink? So I only know 1/5 of the remaining. So right now I'm going to kind of use that a little bit later. So right now I'm going to actually add up what I know how many of the flowers are purple. So, or sorry, purple and red. So I'm going to take 1/8 and I'm going to add it to 1/4. I know that my common denominator will be 8, so I'm going to do this to make that 8. So then I've got 1/8 plus 2 8s equals 3 8s. Okay, so I know that 3/8 of her flowers are purple and red. Okay, so I want to figure out how many of the flowers, though, are that purple and red. So I've got 128 flowers, and what I'm actually going to do is I want to multiply it by that 3/8. Or basically, guys, what I'm going to do is, here's my bar. Sorry, guys. I'm going to make it into 8. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's my 8. And I know that 3/8 of that 128. Well, if you think about it, I'm going to take that 128 and I want to divide it into 8 different parts. Okay, so I'm going to do 128 divided by 8. Oh my goodness, that's not going to be very nice for me. So I'm going to do, let's see here, if I do 8, if I multiply it by 0. Oh, sorry guys. 8 can go into 12 one time. I'm sorry, I'm thinking way ahead of here. All right, so 8 goes into 12 one time, subtract 8. 12 minus 8 is going to be 4. Bring down my 8. 8 goes into 48 6 times. Minus 48 equals 0. So I know that each of these are going to be 16. Okay, so right now I can kind of figure out that 16 plus 16 plus 16 is going to give me 48. Okay, so 48 of the flowers are purple and red. So I basically want to know of this, 1/5 of the remaining are going to be pink. Now there's two different ways you could do this. I could subtract 128 minus 48, and I could get 80 is what I have left over, okay? So I could do 80 times 1/5, okay? So then I can do 80 fifths, and then of course I want to divide this. 80 divided by 5. 5 goes into 8 one time, minus, 5 equals 30, minus 30. So I know that 16 of the flowers, 16 flowers are pink. But instead of doing it this way, what you could do, guys, is I know that these are my purple and red flowers. And it says 1/5 of the remaining. Look what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1/5 of the remaining would be 16. This would be my pink flowers. Okay, so you could have either done the work like this to figure out how many are pink, okay? Or what you could have done was you could have looked at what you had left, and it was 1/5 of the remaining. So here's that 1/5 of the remaining would be pink.